How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper, and my goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading with the prices going up or down. Coinbase vs. SEC court dates confirmed for initial case arguments. On July 24th, Coinbase's chief legal officer Paul Grewal tweeted the news that the New York judge Catherine Polk-Villa approving the joint request from the SEC and Coinbase to proceed with hearings. The initial document submitted by the two parties highlighted that an agreement was concluded for Coinbase's motion and opening brief to be due on August 4th, 2023, along with timeframes for various subsequent supporting documents and responses. However, there was no agreement reached for a deadline on the SEC's opposition to the brief, to which Coinbase proposed 30 days after its opening motion and brief, and the SEC proposed 60. Judge Filia responded by an approval granted in part, which included Coinbase's deadline of August 4th for the initial brief and August 11th for the supporting documents. Vitalik Buterin releases fundamental new concept, biometric Ethereum. So this article mainly talks about the Worldcoin, not really much on the biometric Ethereum, but the Worldcoin is on it. OpenAI Inc. CEO Sam Altman's new cryptocurrency project Worldcoin has caught much ire. Vitalik Buterin is criticizing the project. Worldcoin aims to address the unique human problem of proof of personhood. I didn't know that was a problem. Worldcoin is unique in its application of biometrics, employing an advanced iris scanning device known as the Orb to confirm user identities, so they can see all sorts of information from your iris. Questions have been raised about the privacy and security concerns that are related to biometric technology, specifically Worldcoin's Orb. Concerns have also been raised to whether or not biometrics are a suitable solution for proof of personhood at all, and the risks associated with privacy leaks, coercive governments, and the potential impossibility of maintaining both security and decentralization are some of the highlighted issues. In his breakdown, Buterin argued that there is not an ideal proof of personhood form. Instead, we have different paradigms, each with unique strengths and weaknesses, and he suggested that these should all be used as complementary and combined. Kind of like an ID and a passport. He proposed that biometrics might provide a good short-term solution, while the social graph-based systems could provide a more robust in the long term. So he's saying that this may be a good short-term thing, but long-term is probably not a viable solution. Celsius creditors likely to see their funds soon as bankrupt crypto lender reaches a settlement. So not too much in this article. Under the proposed agreement, customers who borrowed funds through the EARN program could receive a portion of their funds in crypto assets, along with compensation in shares of the new company emerging from the bankruptcy proceedings. Any eligible account holder who does not opt out of the settlement will receive a claim in the amount of 105% of their scheduled claim, which will supersede and extinguish any related proof of claim submitted by such account holder. So if you are good with that 105% where you get their stocks, then you don't have to do anything. However, if you don't want their stocks, then you have to submit a claim against them. So onto the charts. For our total, we are taking a bit of a breakdown, rejecting away from our support resistance that we kept flirting with. Our RSI is curling away, momentum's coming down, stochastic's beating itself down. Our money flow is in the bullish territory, but heading back down toward the bearish territory, and our VWAP is dumping hard. Over on our Bitcoin dominance, we are taking a little bit of a dive here. RSI is starting to point down. Our stochastic is starting to roll over. Our money flow is starting to come out, and our VWAP is pushing down. Our momentum is starting to curl over as our VWAP's getting weaker. So overall, our dominance may see another push down if we do not get some support here. Over on futures, we are breaking away from our flag, so this could be just one big rounding top that could just drop us down. Our RSI is starting to slide, stochastic's beat down as it can be, doesn't have any strength. Our money flow is in the bearish territory, VWAP is in the bearish territory, making a higher low, so that's a little possibility of some bullish hopium, as if we get pushed up, we could see a new high. Our momentum wave is coming down in the bearish territory, so momentum is pretty beat down as well, so just keep an eye with everything coming down. If that VWAP does keep going down, then we will see more bearish action. Real quick, if you haven't, like this video and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Join our Discord. We will have some new some things going for you in the Discord where you'll get some freebies every once in a while. And also check out our Reaper Apparel Co. merch link where you can get 10% off. So Bitcoin is rejecting away from its flag. We are getting more of that double top that I warned about. That's why I didn't quite delete it and I said wait for confirmation. RSI is pointing down. Our money flow overall is coming out. Our stochastic is getting close to a bearish cross. Our VWAP is coming down, so our momentum is getting a red dot, bringing that weaker. So overall, we're getting a pretty strong push. We did bounce off the top of our golden pocket. If you're not familiar with golden pockets, check out the Fibonacci video that we have in our trading videos. Our RSI is trying to head up. Stochastic wants to make a bullish cross. Our money flow wants to go through that neutral. So if our money flow can regain bullish territory strongly, then we could get a push away from here. Our momentum wants to curl up and our VWAP wants to curl up. So if we do get that push here, that would be good. But if we start to reject away from this zone, keep in mind that we have this bear flag. And if this bear flag breaks out a little sooner rather than later, then we could drop even lower. That could take us to that 20K area, which is perfect for that 20K gap on futures that we still have yet to fill. So just keep that in mind. But overall, we're starting to get a little bit of a bounce here on the 4 hour. Our stochastic's starting to get a little bit of a hope for a curl up. Our momentum wants to curl up and our VWAP is heading toward that neutral, so we do have a possibility to get a push off. So just watch for that. RSI is starting to round off. Money flow is in the bearish territory on the 2 hour. Stochastic is ramping up. VWAP is in the bullish territory, not very strongly though. So if the VWAP starts to roll over, which it already is starting to, and push lower, then we could be in trouble here. Our momentum wave wants to come up with a double green dot, but again, if that VWAP breaks bearish, then momentum's going to fall. Over on the 1 hour, we do have more of a hopeful kind of rounding, but just watch out if we get locked into a channel down here because that could make a bear flag. Stochastic is trying to ramp up, RSI is trying to head up, our VWAP is overall arching out, so just keep an eye on that VWAP as if it loses strength, we're going to probably see a little bit of a push down. Our money flow wants to break through that neutral, so we'll have to see if it can get some bullish momentum strongly and actually hold that bullish momentum this time. Our momentum wave wants to come up, so overall we're getting a little bit of a hope for a push up, but we're going to have to keep an eye on it, don't get too hopeful. Over on graph on the daily, we are getting a red candle. RSI is starting to slip away, stochastic's about to get a bearish cross. Our money flow is struggling to maintain above this bullish territory, and our VWAP is starting to push away, so overall we're a little more bearish leaning than bullish. Our momentum wave is coming out and toward that bearish side, so the momentum is more bearish leaning. So everything's starting to come out on us. Over on the 4 hour here, we have a manipulation X that brought us down after that second one. This is why I say look for the pairs. You'll have pairs that brought you down. You have pairs that did nothing. Got pairs here that brought us down. We had a reversal arrow too that signals we could see a drop as we tried to pump up and then we went sideways. Stochastic is trying to fall. RSI wants to make a bounce. Our momentum had a bearish divergence that brought us down. Our momentum does want to get a little bit of a recovery as our VWAP is trying to head toward that neutral zone. So if that VWAP can go into that bullish territory, then we could get a push up. However, if we start to reject away from here, we could meet some resistance and push back down. Our stochastic is looking like it wants to get a bullish cross, but we still have several candles before that would happen. Over on the 2 hour, our RSI is overall sliding. Stochastic is making a bounce off that neutral. Our money flow is trying to bounce off that neutral and go bullish, so we'll have to see if it can sustain some strength here. If it just flips back bearish, we could be in for another dip down. VWAP is struggling over that bullish territory as well, so keep an eye on both. Momentum wants to get a double green dot, but that's going to be dependent on if that VWAP has strength. If the VWAP loses strength, then the momentum will start to flatten out and come out on us. Over on the 1 hour, our RSI is trying to push up, stochastic's trying to ramp up. Our VWAP is kind of tapering off here in the bullish territory, so we do have bullish strength, but not very much. So keep an eye as if this rolls over, then we're going to probably see a bearish push. Our money flow is trying to push in the bullish territory, so see if it can break bullish and stay bullish strongly. Otherwise, we may be in for another drop down. Our momentum does want to come up, but that's going to be dependent on if that VWAP can get like a second wind or something. Over on Anchor here, we still have this wedge that we pushed away from that we wanted to break off. Our RSI is pushing down, stochastic's starting to push down, momentum's getting a bearish divergence, starting to head down with a red dot. Money flow is starting to round off, VWAP has broken into the bearish territory, so overall everything's heading more bearish than bullish. With this being the third touch to the top, we could get a breakdown if we get a little closer to the bottom and push through this value area low, so keep that in mind. Over on the 4 hour, we have that manipulation X that brought us down. RSI is kind of flat. Our stochastic's just heading down toward the oversold area, so our stochastic's pretty beat down. Money flow's pretty close to that neutral, so the money flow could break in the bearish territory here. Our VWAP does want to push up through that neutral, so we'll have to see if it can gain more momentum and get through bullishly. If it rejects away, then we could be in for another downswing and actually see this pattern play out. Momentum is coming down kind of sharply, but it wants to round as that VWAP's trying to come back up, so keep an eye on that. Over on the 2 hour, stochastic's trying to ramp up. RSI is really not going anywhere though. Money flow is trying to make a pretty solid bounce off that neutral, so just watch if the money flow can make a new high. If we kind of get rejected here, we could meet resistance and just crash back down. VWAP looks like it's struggling to maintain bullish momentum here, so that'll need to push up a little more strongly as well. Otherwise, that momentum wave is in danger of rolling back over. Over on the 1 hour here, we are kind of just zigzagging around, kind of making a bear flag. Stochastic's rounding off, RSI's trying to head up, but it's going to lose its strength. Our VWAP does want to head up in the bullish territory, did make a bounce off the neutral, but we are in danger of making a new lower high, which could be a downtrend for us. Our VWAP is in the bearish territory, rejected away from a bullish cross and rejected away from trying to cross neutral right after, so we are pushing down. So watch out, as if that money flow gains more momentum, that'll weaken our medium to higher time frames. That momentum wave looks pretty sharp, like it wants to give red dot, so if that VWAP comes down, we're probably going to see a strong rejection on the momentum as well. Over on XRP, we got rejected from our golden pocket here. We didn't really stay in it quite as long as Bitcoin did. We are rounding away. If we do make a bounce here, we could form some sort of bull flag in this pocket zone, which could set us up for a good run up, but I wouldn't bet too much on that. RSI is overall coming down, stochastic's coming down, they are losing their strength, momentum is coming down from that double red dot, our money flow is losing strength, VWAP is heading back out, so overall we're a little more bearish leaning than bullish right now. Over on the 4 hour, we have that manipulation X that rode us down. We kind of just kept going up, down, so just watch, this is a bullish kind of setup as that's a down channel. If we just get a big drop down, then we may kind of feel that and then see another continual side step like this. But if we keep doing this, we could be actually set up for a rise up. Our RSI is overall getting lower highs, starting to curl away. Stochastic wants to make a bullish cross and head up, so that our stochastic's trying to get some strength. As stochastic's going to have to break through that 30 to give the RSI bullish momentum though. That VWAP is struggling to make a new high after breaking through the neutral, so that VWAP is in bullish territory, but not very strongly. Our money flow is starting to reject away from that neutral, so our money flow is in danger of setting up some bearish action here. That momentum wave does have a double green dot, but if that VWAP flops back over, we'll likely get a red dot to invalidate that. Over on the 2 hour, we are just kind of zigzagging around here. You can see we sidestep down, try to curl up, sidestep down, try to curl up, sidestep down, so we could do that again. Stochastic does want to make a bit of a curl, RSI wants to curl, VWAP is starting to curl, money flow is in the bearish territory, so we have more bearish momentum here on the medium time frame than we do bullish, or medium low time frame. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic's trying to make a ramp up, RSI is not really going very far, our VWAP is making lower highs and starting to head down, Our money flow is in the bearish territory, trying to head up, but it's meeting some resistance here around that like 5 zone. So if we get pushed back down, we could be in for another downswing. Momentum wants to run up, but if that VWAP pushes back under, that momentum is going to come back away from us. Finally, on algo for the daily, we are pushing toward the value area low. We have a manipulation X that's going to want to push toward that Fibonacci area. So Stochastic has a bearish cross and is starting to fall. RSI is starting to fall. VWAP is starting to fall very sharply. Money flow is pretty flat. Our momentum is starting to fall with a red dot as our VWAP broke bearish. So overall, we have more bearish leaning signals than bullish. However, it's kind of interesting that the money flow is pretty flat. We could be setting up some kind of bear flag here or descending triangle here, so that's not good for us as that could push us lower. Descending triangle. Let's see. If we close around there. Kind of goofy to make. Maybe more of a down channel. So down channel would be good for us because that would be a bullish pattern. Wouldn't get quite the break though, but we could see some further bearish action as we bounce around the zone, so keep that in mind. Stochastic is starting to push away, RSI is starting to lose strength, VWAP is in the bearish territory, momentum's curling, so everything's starting to fall, so keep that in mind. Even though we do have a down channel possibility, we could still form some sort of bearish triangle and solidify some kind of bottoms here. That'd be a little cleaner. I didn't like the way that other one looked. Our Stochastic's trying to make a bullish cross, RSI is trying to point up, VWAP is rounding away from the neutral, so our VWAP could be set up to push back down. Our momentum would likely get a red dot and push lower. Over on the 2 hour, RSI is starting to lose strength. We are making higher highs, but we're starting to taper off. Stochastic's wanting to run up, so we'll have to see if that Stochastic can break through that neutral and get some bullish strength. Our money flow overall is struggling to maintain bullish strength as it's getting lower highs and it's in danger of breaking through that neutral. Our VWAP is trying to ramp up, but it's overall starting to taper off, so we're not getting very much strength on that either. Our momentum could end up curling back under if that VWAP starts to curl away. Over on the 1 hour, kind of have like a flag set up here, so just keep that in mind as that could push us lower short term. Stochastic's trying to ramp up, RSI is trying to ramp up, money flow is trying to break through the bullish territory, so if that can happen, that could push that possibility away, and we could break away from this down channel. That would be ideal for us. Our VWAP is trying to push higher, but we are struggling to break through this kind of 8 area, so watch if it gets a rejection. Our momentum wants to push up, but if that VWAP rejects, then the momentum's going to do the same. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.